if you cut your reoccurring outgo expenses, it's really easy to gain control. It's easier to gain control on the basic necessities in life, and then what you're using for maybe, I would say, luxuries or enjoyment in life. So what we did was we cut expenses, we cut car expense. So right now we Uber because we don't drive a lot, and we live in a location where you can walk everywhere, most places, or you can have grocery delivery, and it's just more convenient. And with the car expense, you're also cutting fuel, you're cutting insurance, registration, and just maintenance and upkeep. We also don't have any DirecTV or anything like that. Subscriptions such as beauty subscriptions or anything that's not necessary. Now, we do the grocery subscription through Amazon Prime because that offsets obviously getting groceries, but when it comes to Netflix or like beauty boxes or anything like that, we've cut all of that. When you have subscriptions, you forget about it. So it's better to be in control of what goes out instead of being obligated on using the money that you're already paying out, and then you're obligated to use it. Well, I better buy this because I have a subscription for it or whatever. We also have the one in, one out rule. You bring something in, you let something go, and we actually do decluttering and purging on a regular basis. This includes things that we no longer use, things that have been overused, maybe are just ready to retire, clothes that don't fit anymore or just don't feel comfortable, things with imperfections. If the clothes has holes and it needs sewing, I'm not going to spend my time sewing the clothes. And what we do is we don't keep large wardrobes. We rotate through seasonal things. So, if something, my son, he'll wear the same thing all season long until we shop for the next season or until he grows out of it. So we don't have like these giant wardrobes we rotate through. As far as purses go, I keep very minimal, a fall purse, a summer tote, and a couple clutches, and that's it. So we've really limited the amount of storage that we need, which helps limit housing expense because you don't need a huge space to store a bunch of stuff that you're not really using or wearing anyways. And that has also helped with housing expense as far as maintaining a house and yard work and all of the different things that go into the larger space when you need a large space. Right now we're in under 1,400 square feet with 5 of us. And when you have a larger space, your AC bill, your electric bill, all that stuff is more. And you end up filling it too. You have the space and then you end up filling it all. We also don't do huge grocery trips like we used to because food used to go bad. We'd sit in the fridge, we'd overspend, we'd buy a bunch of sweets. Because we do grocery delivery, it helps us be more intentional on what we're selecting. So we're not going into the store hungry. I noticed that when I would go grocery shopping, depending on the mood that I was in or the cycle that I was in, I would buy things, especially Costco, because you got those ladies tempting you with all of the snacks. I would buy things that I really didn't need or unhealthy versions of things in bulk, $10, $20. Or I'd go into Whole Foods and see the bakery like, oh, this looks good. And if I'm hungry and tired and cranky and it's hot out, I'm going to buy that ice cream. I'm going to buy those sweets. I'm going to buy that snack. Grocery delivery has game changed for us because I can say I've got $100 or $150. I'm getting, whatever items I need for the next 3 or 4 days. It keeps it fresh. It keeps it healthy. Keeps it really intentional. And it limits the outgo of unnecessary spending that you're not using, things you're not eating. We also don't take any lavish vacations if we have debt. If there's things that need paying, we're not going to go on a vacation. We're not going to go spend or budget that in. It's out of the question. You handle what you need to handle first before you do that. Now, some things that do take serious is I want my home to be nice and spacious. Or nice and curated. This doesn't mean that I'm going out and buying every trendy item and filling it with a bunch of junk, but it does mean if I have my eye on something that might cost a little bit more, I will hold off to buy that item. That way I'm cultivating and curating a space with intention, and it's elevated, obviously, because you spend a lot of time in your house and at home and you want it to feel good. So there's a balance of overloading your home with a bunch of clutter, closets that are packed. I also, if my old self, I used to go buy bins, like, oh, I need more bins, I need more storage containers, I need more organizers. Now, if I get to that point, I just need less stuff. So instead of going to spend money on organizers and bins and storage containers for all of these things, like all these influencers, like you need this laundry room with all these acrylic drawers labeled with all these different things. No, you don't. You need one thing of laundry detergent. That's basically it. One bottle spray of cleaning spray. You don't need 50 million. It's all toxic chemicals anyways. Baking soda, vinegar, castor oil soap, and basic things, essential oils, whatever. So you can rotate through what you need with just a few ingredients. So the goal is to simplify, not getting so caught up into this over consuming. However, it's not this frugal mindset where you're like, I'm never going to buy something. If there's something that I really like and it's triple the cost of something that I don't like, I'm going to wait for the thing that I really like instead of buying something I don't like just because it's cheaper. The amount of money that you're going to spend on dupes and the amount of money that you're going to spend on compromising instead of waiting for what you really want, you're going to end up spending more money. You're not going to love it. You're going to walk by that thing. You're going to regret buying it. The material's not the same. It's probably going to be sprayed with toxic chemicals, and you're just making it harder for yourself to then have the space that you really want. And also in your closet, if you're holding on to clothes that you've had for 10 years, you know that you're never going to fit into them, or this has tags on it, I've never worn it in 3 years. What makes you think you're going to wear it now? You're waiting for that special occasion that's never going to come, and it's just taking up space. It'd be better to sell those off at a consignment shop or donate them to maybe a women's shelter or somebody who can really use the item and bless somebody with it. Sow some seeds of blessing in your own community with what you have. It's a win-win because you're simplifying your space, you're purging, and you're sowing seeds in your community for something good. I also keep my wardrobe really simple. I like to wear things that are comfortable. I notice if I'm wearing something that's uncomfortable, it just ruins my day. I wear my shoes until they wear out, until I buy new shoes. So you're rotating differently. You're wearing what you have, you're utilizing it, you're taking care of it, instead of buying a bunch. Now, if the shoes that you love are on sale, maybe buy a couple pair and rotate through, black, white, tan, and then you've got a few pairs, of the same style. So just learning how to keep things a little bit more simple, a little bit more elevated. Other things that we have cut out and that I didn't even used to spend money on, but like getting your nails done. I do my hair now every 6 months instead of every 6 weeks like I used to. Facials, Botox, fillers, all of these different things. You really don't need much because your skin hydrates from the inside out. You need good vitamins, you need sun, you need walking, you need weightlifting to boost your collagen, and you need whole foods, meats, greens, carbs, healthy things. Cut the processed. And speaking of food, there's a huge expense if you're eating out all the time. Not only are you consuming seed oils, you are bringing in so many unnecessary calories. Alcohol. I don't do alcohol. Like, when you cut all of these things out, you're saving so much money, you're simplifying your life, you're giving yourself mental clarity, you're aging better, you're allowing yourself some space to breathe, you're connecting with God on a more of a clear level because you're not being, your mind is not clouded with all of these other things and with alcohol. You're sober-minded. And just think about, 3 years ago, I realized that we spent probably $800 to $1,200 a month eating out. And I'm not joking. So a family of 5, that's how much it cost. That was before all of the crazy inflation when it was starting, but that's a lot. So every meal was $100 to $150 for 5 people. I mean, you think about that. You could grill burgers for way less than that, and you can meal prep for the week for way less than that and eat healthier. So your body responds better and you're not full of inflammation and all of this weight gain. I had skin problems and hair problems and hormone problems, and I was out of shape, and I slept a lot. It was like everything was so out of whack. And to make me feel better, then I would shop all of these gadgets and unnecessary things. And speaking of gadgets, you don't need 50 Stanley Cups with a Stanley Cup holder. You don't need all of this junk. You don't need 50 things of Tupperware. Every single organizer labeled with all of these. You don't need all that. Simple. Simplicity is so much better. I also don't go into TJ Maxx and Home Goods and all of those stores anymore. One, because I don't have a car to drive in there anymore, and I'm not going to Uber. I don't care what they have. But I used to care about Target's drops and what does Home Goods have, and let me get some junk for Halloween, and let me buy all this lead-filled stuff, and let me see what they have, and let's go thrifting, and let's see what we could find. And you're just filling your home with junk, and you're thinking that you're winning, and you're not winning. It's so much better to have a simplified, elevated life with a mix of organic, modern. You got organic foods, you know, the things that you purchase are with intention, so you know this is a raw wood, and solid wood instead of fake wood, or this is a premium material like linen or 100% cotton or wool instead of polyester or rayon. You know, you're buying things that are reciprocating that quality of life, and you're filling your home with things that are making you feel good, and they're nurturing you, and they're uplifting you and your family. And so that's what this is all about, is just finding those simple ways, letting go of the old. Don't waste any more time deciding, should I keep this, should I not keep it? If you have to question it, just let it go and move on. And I'm talking really fast because it's hot and my phone's going to overheat. It's 107 now, so that's why I'm talking like super fast. But just to get the point across, for those of you who are really itching for that simplified life, keep going. This is you got this. You don't have to hold on. Don't keep questioning everything. Like move. Get aggressive about the freedom that you want. Get excited about the freedom that God has for you, the simplicity, the peaceful life. You know, pull yourself out of that slumber, that trap of more. I got to consume, and I need all these Temu items and Shein items, and I need all this. No, you don't. Cut it out. You don't need all the junk. Pick quality materials, brass, woods, stones, you know, marble, all of those beautiful things, linen, cotton, wool, crystal. Like, you don't need much when you have those things, because they speak for themselves in such a subtle way without screaming, look at all this stuff I have all over my house. Unless you want your house to look like everybody else's house, packed with stuff, and be a prisoner in it and be suffocated in it, then you can do that. But if you don't, and you want some freedom, be very intentional about it. With every space, every purchase, everything you bring in, every drawer, every closet, what you wear, what you buy, all of it. It's just such a much better way to live. That's it for today.